Welcome to the After the Ball Show. Here is your host, Sam, your bro. Today's a gift we all can feel. The wounds are raw, but time will heal. Be thankful now for where you stand, and hold the world in grateful hands. After the bars, we're rising strong, facing the world where we belong. Recovery burns a steady flame from where he's been.
I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas,
Wake up, Sam, he's reborn again. One step forward from where he's been. Turn up the noise, flip the script today. Lights on, Sam, we've got dues to pay. A world on fire, but the winds still blow. This is Morning Mayhem, welcome to the show.
hey guys, welcome to the Morning Mayhem Show. I guess it is the Morning Mayhem Show. We're right on time, 9 o'clock. It is also the After the Bars podcast, and I am Sam. I am a whack job mess. You guys will soon find out. But today we're going to talk about justice for Maddie Soto. Stephen Stearns was sentenced yesterday, and he made a statement. And a lot of my friends were like, dude, did you hear Stearns' statement? I was like, no, I didn't hear it. I still haven't heard it. So I have it geared up, ready to go. But mostly we're going to be talking about addiction today. Is addiction a choice or a disease, or can it be both at the same time? I'm really looking forward to this. Of course, most of you know I was a full-blown 5 grams a day heroin junkie at one point in my life. I went from Microsoft systems engineer to junkie drug trafficker to child of God when I got out, and tattoo artist. I've owned tattoo shops in LA, in Montana. I moved to Montana because the judge was like, every time I would violate my probation, they'd have to fly me in Con Air to Montana, and it just cost them too much money, so they ended up making me stay in Montana. So I'm an LA kid, out here in the mountains and the streams and the rivers and the elk and the cool, most beautiful, nice people in the world, I think. So yeah, I'm up here now, and we're going to talk a little bit about that addiction and disease, and choice and brain chemistry and all the things. And I'm really looking forward to this because I haven't done a recovery show in a while. Of course, the show is always a recovery show. I will stop in mid-sentence to talk about recovery if it's needed, if someone, needs to, really it's an emergency, needs to talk to the community, to me, any questions. And so I'm really looking forward to today. Have been looking forward to it. Look, I was ready to go right on time. Was making sure that we were able to put this show together, and it'd be a good show. Let's check in with the old Chatterooski and see who's all here. James Collins Kerr is in the house, probably just listening. He's on his way to kayak and I think a stream or something. I don't know where he's going, but good morning to you, James Collins Kerrs. My other's keeper. Hey, Kim, how are you doing today? Good to see you. Good morning. Susie Q, welcome back. So glad you made it into the chat today. Loving life, so live it. Good morning to you. And Beta, good morning to you. So good to see you. Shell Dubs in the house. Juju Bean, good morning to you. Good to see you. Thank you for participating in the conversation today. And that's all I see right now. I did everything I said I was going to do yesterday. I put the chat from studio, I detached it, and it's up there, so I don't have to just look at the small chat in StreamYard. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot better because I can just go from the camera and just look a little to the right, and there's the old chat. So, how are you guys doing this morning? Yeah, I know, Kim. I will get that to you. I will get that to you. You seen Hazley was on me yesterday. She really wanted to get to the library, and I totally spaced that I was gonna go right to the emails and get that in there. Well, that's cool, Susie. She's like, this is the first time she's been early for anything in months. Yeah, maybe even years, right? Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Hey, Sherry LeBron, good morning to you. I don't think I said good morning to you, or you just got here. Cool. Thank you so much for being in a chat. To all the moderators, thank you so much for all the help that you do. I really appreciate it. No, I know. It is my loss, and I'm going to get to that. I mean, I could just do it right now, real quick, for real. I'd have to open up my email. I am going to do it during the show. Maybe while we're watching the Steven Stearns things, I will shoot you an email. Hey, Rosanna Dana is in the house. So good to see you, Rosanna Dana. My thumb is doing great. Look at this. Look at that. You guys remembered what that looked like? It was literally meat to the bone cut off. And look how fast that healed. That's the same thumb. Isn't that nuts? It's still a little sore. You can see when I do that, you can still kind of see some of the. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see where it was. Isn't the body amazing? Yeah, Sherry. I know she likes to like stick her tongue out and lick. I should go back and watch that. She is super funny. But it's distracting to me when I'm trying to keep a thought and she's like, climbing on me and I'm trying to like talk about something. It's hard. And so her and I had an agreement that she wouldn't do that, but she's 6. She's not gonna, and she's a ham, so she likes to be on the show. I have like 2 hours of her practicing to be a live streamer, where I just hit record and I'll like be doing the dishes or something, and she'll be in here practicing. And the things that she says is so funny. And she'll be like, and remember, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. And I'm putting together an intro that has little clips of her practicing live stream. It is super cute, man. It is so cute. Yeah, it is. I must say it is. So I really wanted to talk about the Madeline Soto case. The reason why I didn't cover that case, except besides the obvious reasons, we tried to watch it when it was first in its inception, when it was first starting to play. We tried to watch it, and it was very triggering. It was triggering for me. It was triggering for a lot of other people, and it was triggering for me because my time in prison, we didn't let guys like that walk the yard, like to be in population. And it was triggering for me. It was upsetting because I felt a violent streak in me that that I've basically have erased, with the Holy Spirit and prayer. That desire has changed to want to attack guys like that. But it does trigger it up, and it really does. And I wasn't that guy before prison, and I'm not that guy now. But I know that person exists in there somewhere, and it was just triggering for me because it was starting to creep up, and I was afraid of the things that I would say. The internet is forever, and I just felt like I would say things that don't match who I am today. And I wouldn't I just wouldn't want, trolls or someone, later, say, oh, like, yeah, look, this guy says he's a Christian, but look, he's like trying to, he says he wants to, kill this guy or, beat him up and smash his head into a curb and curb stomp him and, all these like crazy violent things, which is not who I am. But, alone in a room with a guy like that, who knows what would happen. I know what's happened in the past in prison. I have like 30 separatees in federal prison, which means yards that I can't be on with other people because of things like that. So it's I have a history, and I just try to avoid it. To those feelings. Love it, life, so live it. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's been a long time since I've gotten a super chat, so I really appreciate that. I really do. So thank you so much. While we're going through the show, if you guys have a comment or a question, just put CCC for comment in front of the comment or question, and just put QQQ for question. And I will try to catch them and set them aside to highlight, and I will, read your comment or answer your question if I can. There's certain topics that I'm more knowledgeable about, and those, of course, I can answer almost anything about the federal system, being indicted, going to prison, what happens in prison, what are prison gangs, and what's it like, why you should do it, why you shouldn't do it. I mean, there is an argument for both. I really do have an argument for both. Do I regret being in a prison gang? Absolutely. I could have had such an easier time if I had just decided just to be like a nice guy, like or like a not. I mean, even when I was in a gang, I was a nice guy, but just someone just chose just to keep my eyes down, ignore everything, and do my time. And I lost a lot of good time. It was a mess. So anyway, let's here, I'll read a couple of these comments if you guys have some right now. My other keeper says, I was recently at my high school reunion. Hey, good for you. And I'm glad that others didn't judge me for my distant past. I got to bury some old feelings as well. Well, that's amazing. Knowing you, my other's keeper, I couldn't even imagine you even have a past, but I'm sure we all do. So it's hard for me because you're so you are so sweet and gentle, and so yeah, it would be like hard for me to imagine you having a past, but that's amazing that you were able to process some things and work through it. My other keeper says, Sammy, don't regret it. You can reach out to a whole new demographic that you couldn't have before. No, that's right. No, and yeah, I don't really have like regret that eats at me. I just wish I would have done it differently. But yeah, the demographic is definitely different. I've been an expert witness on prison gangs for murder trials. I've done all kinds of things when I go talk to treatment centers and do my spiel. Because of that, I've been able to help people along the way. So yeah, I totally get it. Absolutely. Hey, John Lazan, good morning to you. How are you doing today? Good to see you. John Lazan in the house. I need a, here, we'll just do the call. John Lazan is here. It's good to see you, brother. The life here is only preparation for eternal life. Well said. Well said. That is exactly right. That is exactly right. Or else you go there. And no one wants to go to where they wake up every morning and hear this. Right? That would suck. Good morning, Beta. Good to see you. Did I already say? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I seen you up there. Yeah. Back to the Steven Stearns case. I had a discussion about Steven Stearns with a couple of people last night, and we all have come to the conclusion that the mother needs to be prosecuted, man. She really does. I don't know the case inside and out. You know, I just know what I seen in her interview, and it was awful. It was really awful. So I'm not going to play all the victim statements because there was a lot of victim statements read, and they were very, very sad. I do want to play the his statement because I haven't heard that yet. When I got to his statement, but I heard it wasn't good. I mean, but what could he say that would be good? Do you know what I mean? No one cares if you're remorseful. No one cares that, you know, that you didn't mean to do it or whatever he might say. So let's take a listen. And just a trigger warning, this guy is a piece of shit. So, but there's nothing talked about, like, you know, nothing graphic or anything. I'm guessing, but I will go ahead and put up a trigger warning and give people a chance to exit stage left. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's go ahead and
The judgment and sentences of the court. If you wish to do so, you must do so in writing within the next 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. The appeal will be
Judge is
limited to
talking
the
about
jurisdiction of the court to
appeals.
impose the sentence. Legality of the sentence itself is a condition of your agreement with the state of Florida. You are agreeing not to appeal the pretrial rulings of the court.
Sorry if it's
Anything
low,
else?
guys.
That's anything else? Thank you. Let's place Mr. Stearns under, he's been previously placed under oath.
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to make a brief statement. I agree that it's not fair that Madeline is not here anymore. I still have a hard time contemplating a world where she's not around, a world which feels less vibrant and less colorful than it did before. I've prayed to God countless times to trade places with her, to take me instead.
I don't know why, guys. I'm going to be interrupting this. I don't know why perpetrators always say they always say, you know, this would be a brighter world if she was still here. Yeah, well, you took her away, brother. And you're a piece of shit, and you did nasty things. So
And unfortunately, that's just not how he works.
oh yeah, when they say, you know, oh, I wish it could be me instead. I think that's a remorseful statement when it's like someone drinks and drives and gets in a car accident and someone dies. You guys all know I lost my wife to a drunk driver. And you know, they always say, you know, I wish it was me instead, you know, in the crash. In that instance, I believe that's a true statement from the heart. I couldn't imagine being responsible for someone's death in a car accident where I had been drinking. Praise God that never happened. That never happened. There was plenty of nights before my wife's killed that I drank and drove. And I just can't believe it. I remember I used to go 100 miles per hour drunk down this road where, I mean, there was stoplights on this road, and I would try to hit all the stoplights because if you went like 100, you could hit them. And you know, someone could have turned left in front of me. Someone could have pulled out in front of me, turning right from a side street. And I remember doing that completely drunk. I remember being at my friend's bachelor party and I was the designated driver, but at the last bar I drank, and I drove like 6 of us home doing 100 miles an hour down this street. And just, wow. What was I thinking? Right. What was I thinking?
I have nothing but sorrow for her loss. And I miss her all the time. Her passing has torn me and my family apart as well. And she truly was a joy. I pray to God that she is in heaven and that he's taking good care of her.
Don't say
I
it.
hope she gets to join the choir because she had a beautiful voice.
I'm afraid he's going to say, I'll be with her again someday. Oh my God, I'll lose my shit.
I will miss her all the time. I will never not honor her memory. And I apologize for all the pain.
Anything further, defense?
Well, good. At least he didn't say that. I've heard perpetrators say that before. You know, you know, I know she's in heaven now, and someday I'll be able to see her again. I mean, maybe you will. I don't know. That's God's decision, but yeah, thank God he didn't say that. Well, that wasn't too awful, and he kept it short and sweet, so I'll give him that. You know, sometimes I think it's just better nothing is said, and just to have your head down and feel shitty. So yeah, there was a bunch of victim statements read. They were all pretty good. One was from an aunt. One was from an aunt's friend who was a roommate with Maddie when she was younger. The biological dad did speak, and there was no tears. He didn't look sad at all. I'm sure if he was closer to her, maybe he would have had a little more sadness about this happening. But why I mention it is because the biological dad's girlfriend, she was a mess. You would have thought that she was the mother. So I wonder if she had like a closer connection to her than the father, the biological father did. I don't know. But yeah, she was a mess. And I said a prayer for her yesterday. I just but the biological dad, he was kind of full of shit. But he definitely has the right to be there and to talk about it. Oh my God, if I was the parent, I would be too. And the mother, good morning, Wild Poppy. I'm just reading Wild Poppy's comment. She said if I was the parent, I'd be so racked with guilt. But man, I would I mean, really any of my daughters, but especially my 6-year-old, if I was to lose her to something like that, I'd be in prison because I would have unalived this guy in prison, and I would probably be in prison. My other daughters are older and have their own lives, so I would have just done it, and I know that's terrible, but it's what I would do, because I just couldn't imagine losing my daughter. So yeah, there's that. I would definitely the mom hasn't shown much remorse. I guess she's in a psych hospital now. I don't know if that's a legal strategy for her to not get prosecuted. I don't know what it is. Maybe some of you know more about the mother situation than I do. But I don't know, but it's just super ugly. Also in the news today or yesterday, and I didn't put this in the thumbnail of the description, but oh damn it. I was trying to be slick and I messed that up. Let me find it. So the Trump administration yesterday released the MLK assassination files. I didn't get a chance to read it, but there's I guess they have some interviews with James Earl Ray, who was the gentleman who, and I use the term lightly, who unalived MLK, and yeah, Juju Bean. she says, I don't want to know about the mom. She knew what was happening. No, I know. Well, I guess what I meant was, yeah, I think she should be going to prison right there with him. She absolutely knew what was happening just by her interview. And it was super ugly. The Trump administration releases hundreds of thousands of MLK files. I do think, it happening right now is a bit of a distraction for the Epstein files. Everyone's done videos about the Epstein files. It's all I see on YouTube right now. It's, I've done a couple of videos and, they just get lost in the thousands and thousands of reports on the Epstein files. But Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard on Monday released hundreds of thousands of files related to the 1960 assassination of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King. The files come after President Donald Trump ordered agencies to declassify documents involving the assassinations of former President John F. Kennedy, former Attorney General Robert Kennedy, and King. And I guess the reason why I mentioned this, it was so easy for these files to be released, for the JFK files to be released. But with the Epstein files, it's like, well, we've got to, ask for the grand jury's testimony to be released, put in requests for this and that. It's just a shit show with the Epstein files, but all these other things are just with a presidential order, they get released. Congress doesn't really have to be involved. It's crazy. It's super crazy. So yeah, I think it's just a distraction. I really do. So addiction and I'm sorry, I'm getting like a heat flash right now, and I don't know why. So addiction and is it a disease or a choice? I've thought about this a lot in my life, and I've talked about it with some friends, and I truly believe that that it becomes a disease, a brain disease, not a disease like you would think, but it becomes a brain disease after like prolonged use. And that, but it begins as a choice. And so I'm not a huge fan of experimenting, telling kids, okay, it's okay to experiment, we all go through it. I don't believe in that. It's because from my own history, when I was really young, I tried speed, pill speed, cross tops, black jackets or yellow jackets, Tutti Fruities, which were they were called 2020s. They were all these like speed pills that were prescription speed pills, I'm guessing. But people had them in the 70s and early 80s, and we would take them. I think I took them twice actually in school, where someone had some pills, maybe he stole them from his parents or something, and gave me some. But I never got addicted to those or to any other drugs. I didn't really use drugs. I did drink quite a bit in my 20s, my early 20s and mid 20s. I lived in Hollywood. I thought I was, a party guy. Not thought I was a party guy. And when my wife was killed, I started drinking really heavily daily, and then I was introduced to meth, crystal meth, and it might even have been crank at first, but became crystal meth as I was mourning my wife, and the rest is of the story is history. I've talked about it on many shows and different platforms, and even on this platform there's probably a couple of videos of me telling my story. I've gone on other channels, and why I think I was so susceptible to wanting that drug specifically, that stimulant, was because I had tried it before when I was younger, and it just like reignited like this good feeling. And I wasn't too upset that I had tried it. Someone gave it to me in a drink to get me out of bed, or off the couch rather. And I wasn't even that mad at him, and it felt really good. And I became a daily user like almost instantly. It was pretty crazy. And so I chose, after that, I don't think that the disease resided in me, that brain disease. I don't think it resided in me at that point. Some people will say, yeah, well, your dad was an alcoholic, because my dad was, so, it was in your chemistry. I don't know. I don't know if that brain disease gets, transferred on from generation. I think there are studies out there that say that it does. And guys, I'll get to the chat when we're done talking, or maybe in the middle of the discussion. I don't know if, because my dad was an alcoholic, maybe he wasn't an alcoholic and his brain chemistry hadn't changed when I was conceived. Actually, I don't think he was, because he was in Vietnam, and I don't think he had really drank too much before Vietnam. He went to Vietnam right out of high school. He did the delayed entry program. It's called depping in. He depped into the Marine Corps. And I just don't think any of his chemistry of being an alcoholic was there yet. So I don't think that was my case, my situation. The brain changes when you do repeated drug use or alcohol use. And so that's when the disease like occurs, in my opinion. But with what I did, when I first started doing the drug, it like hijacked my dopamines, and over time, my willpower had weakened to use the drug. And so then if I didn't have it, the cravings would take over, and those strong urges. And I think those strong urges are from neurological changes that happen in your brain. I was the same way with opiates, with heroin, because I eventually became a heroin addict, because that's the drug of choice when you're locked up. Doing speed, and when I say speed, I mean meth. I just hate using the word meth. And it has nothing to do with like monetization or anything like that. I don't care if this video gets monetized or not. But when I think speed was a little different because of the stimulant, and it got me up. I was in the fetal position, mourning my wife, and the speed like got me to was able to even just like sit up and shave and go out and be around, other people, instead of, the fetal position on my couch in North Hollywood. I think medical organizations do agree. Groups like the American Medical Association, the National Institute for Drug Abuse, classify addiction as a chronic relapsing brain disease. And when I used to get frustrated with relapse, because I would always relapse, when I would get frustrated with that, and at the time I didn't believe it was disease, even though, I would go into the rooms, AA and NA, and they were telling me it was disease. It's just, a bunch of ex-junkies and alcoholics telling me that. So I kind of was choosing not to believe that. So it was very frustrating for me to understand why I couldn't stay sober. I felt like I was working a program, although I look back now and I really wasn't, at least not a spiritual program. I was like, no, this isn't working. This isn't working. But I had no spirituality. I didn't have no higher power really, or God. I was choosing the wrong things to call my higher power. Like a person, or, the ocean. I use the ocean as a higher power, but it's hard to give things to the ocean when you call it a higher power. Because how are they healing me? How is the ocean healing me? Although when I'm in it, I feel good, but to use it as a higher power, I think was nonsensical. Um, it never worked. Using my sponsor as my higher power, or just didn't work. And it wasn't suggested that I use my sponsor as higher power. That's what I was choosing at the time. But it was very frustrating for me. And so that frustration of not understanding about brain disease and about it changing, how my long-term use had changed my brain chemistry. It did, that unnatural high dopamine release, which I call the hijack. The dopamine hijack had created that brain disease. And so when I would get cravings because I didn't have those high of dopamine levels, I would choose to use. And because I couldn't, my mood could not, I couldn't elevate my mood on my own, even sober, to feel happiness and to be joyous or joyful. So it was very frustrating. So then, that frustration turns into kind of a depression, just a not understanding of my situation. And it was just a vicious cycle. I could not use. I would stay clean for a little while, and then then it was like, well, I'm not an alcoholic per se, so I would drink alcohol instead. And then but what alcohol does for me, at least, um, it doesn't let me make good decisions. So I would make poor decisions, and I'd be drunk, and I would think about, meth or heroin, and didn't give me the power to say no, to not want it. And it's because I didn't understand that feeding that compulsion to feel better with anything other than myself was just such a bad mistake that I was doomed. I was doomed to fail. I was doomed to live in my addiction, to go back to jail for violating my probation or parole. So I guess my conclusion in that, and I'm not done talking about, I don't mean conclusion of the topic today, but my conclusion regarding is disease a choice or addiction, is that it's both. You, in the beginning, you choose, and that's why I don't think that experimentation is good, especially with the hard drugs like meth and heroin. That in the beginning, that it was a choice, and and I chose to use, then that my brain chemistry hadn't been changed yet, like rewired from that daily dopamine hijack. And then it becomes a disease, and that doesn't take away your willpower. Like, it doesn't take away, just because it's a disease, it becomes a disease. That doesn't let you off the hook from using. So you still have willpower, and you're still need to treat the disease. And when and I don't mean like going to the doctor and having it treated. I mean treating the disease by doing other things regarding your recovery. And that's when working a program comes in, and working. And there's many paths to recovery. It's not just AA and NA. That's not what I'm saying. But like making choices that won't lead you to relapse. So I was looking for this quote real quick. Someone had written to me when I was asking them about this topic, and they said addiction may begin as a choice, but it becomes a disease. Recovery is the daily decision to fight that disease one choice at a time. And that's exactly right. I fight my disease by making one choice at a time, and I really do that. And I but that also requires some honesty with yourself, right? So what I mean is, like, when I'm making a decision, the first 2 years of being sober, I would, and with every choice and decision, I would say, is this choice going to further my recovery? If the answer was no to that, you don't do it. I don't care what, if it could be buying a guitar or a new computer. And so those are real choices I had to make at some point. Is it furthering my recovery? You have to be honest with yourself, yes or no. And if the answer is no, you just don't do it. That's protecting, that's treating your disease, your addiction. You just don't do it. And then, once you have some sobriety, and you can, you don't have to really ask yourself that question too much. You pretty much know the things that aren't going to lead you to a relapse. Then the spiritual program, the spiritual recovery of the program, and that's where I achieved success, was finally I did discover God, and I did pray to have those desires removed from me. But then what I'm saying is, for me to stay sober, I absolutely had to change that question and ask myself, okay, is this choice, or is this decision pleasing God? And if you're honest with that, because you have to be, then you don't make decisions where you're going to have regret, you're going to have shame or guilt, and then that's when integrity starts to shine in your life, where even when no one's looking, you're making the right decisions. You have insurance on your car, you're not doing illegal things to pay for your rent, or to feed yourself or your family if you have a family. You really have to be rigorous with that question. Is what I'm doing pleasing God? And if you don't believe in God, I mean, you can still, to be successful in your recovery, you have to have some kind of spiritual program. You just can't do it without it. It's impossible. Trust me, I've tried it. I tried it many, many times. I would build my life up to where I own things and have my own businesses, and I would burn it all down, scorched earth, and not care, because I wasn't doing things that pleased God. And because I didn't believe in God, I didn't know what was up there. I believed in ghosts and aliens and all the stupid things. Well, believing in ghosts isn't stupid, but you understand what I'm saying. And neither is believing in aliens. But what I mean is, not things, or not something spiritual in my life that would help heal me and help me have a good life. Do you know what I mean? Making those choices, having integrity, doing the right thing when no one's looking. And those, and even, and I say, like having insurance on your car, that's like a big thing. You wouldn't think how important that is to your recovery. Doing the right thing, following the rules. By not having insurance on your car, you can you get a ticket, for not having insurance, and then say you don't pay that ticket, or you don't show up for court when you don't pay the ticket, and then your license gets suspended. Then you're driving with a suspended license, and then it's all the things that one choice can make that will could destroy your life, because I know that sounds, there's a cognitive distortion called catastrophe. I know that sounds like, I'm catastrophizing the situation. But it's true. Like it could lead you back to prison eventually because of the shame and guilt from, having a warrant for driving without a license. You could just end up saying, getting the fuck it's, a lot of people do get the fuck it's, like, well, fuck it then, if I'm going to have to go to jail for this, or if I'm going to have to like deal with this, then fuck it. I'm just gonna drink, or I'm gonna use because I just want to feel better, and life sucks, and I'm a big piece of shit anyway, so why not drink and use? All from not having insurance on your car. So like, and that's just like one little example, and the end game could be an extreme, but I don't really think it is. I think it happens more than you would like to believe. So that's why all those little things are so important to stay clean and sober. It's I've tried it every other way. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't. It just doesn't work. And I can't wait to get to the chat to see what you guys have to say about this. And talk about it. I had a couple other notes. Recovery requires action, and that's the treating the recovery. Like if you were a diabetic, I know a lot of people use that as an example, so I'm going to use it too. But like a diabetic needs to, have insulin and check their sugar. Recovery is the same way. Even though the brain is affected, recovery just demands like hard choices. Like if you're going to rehab, or cutting off the negative people around you, or the enablers. It's all the little things together that support a good lifestyle and being able to remain clean and sober. And another thing is too, especially with me, because my coping strategies were nil. They were nothing. I was trying to think if I even had any good coping strategies or ways that I coped with adversity in my life, and I really didn't. It was just drink or avoid, and so a part of that action does require learning new coping strategies, and you can do that by just talking to friends or a counselor or a therapist. Your sponsor in the program is, if you've picked a good one, and I really, really encourage people when they're choosing a sponsor to have a sponsor that does believe in God, even if you don't believe in God yet, because at least then that's I used to tell my guys this when I would sponsor guys this, and when they didn't believe in God, I would say, well, all I really need you guys to do is to just have a willingness to believe that there might be something greater out there than you. You don't have to believe in it right now, but just a willingness to believe that there might be God, there might be a God there. And then if with Christianity, if guys were like, I feel like I'm a Christian, but I don't know, it just, then you have to have a willingness to believe in the resurrection of Christ. Because without that, like, none of it is real or makes sense. If you can't believe in that, then none of it makes sense. So yeah, there's that. And what else do I want to talk about with that? That's right. And I kind of already touched on it, is that just because it's a disease doesn't get you off the hook. Like, well, like try going into the courtroom when you get busted for drugs, or you violate your probation, and saying, but judge, I have a disease, so I can't help it. I have to use. No, responsibility still matters. I'm just imagining doing it. I never did that. I always was like, I know, judge, I'm a piece of shit. All these gang tattoos on me, I'm like 250, raw steel and sex appeal, and I'm just like, sorry, judge, all the gangster jumps right out of you, when you're going back to court for stupid things, and the judge is like, I don't know what to do with you. Prison doesn't work, rehab doesn't work. But yeah, responsibility still matters. Calling it a disease doesn't mean there's no accountability. Like with diabetes or heart disease, you still have to make decisions that support your recovery. So again, I'll go back to, asking yourself, does this please God? Does this decision I'm making right now really please God? And if you're honest with yourself, and you're honest, and you follow those rules that you make for yourself, and the things that please God and don't. If you don't know if it's pleasing God or not, you just don't do it on the chance that you're not going to please Him. But if you follow those things, and with, at least with me, and I was the worst of the worst. There was no worse junkie than me. Lots of guys that were like me, but there was definitely no one worse than me. Absolutely not. Even though I was never like on the street. I mean, I've been homeless, but I was never like just a gutter junkie, sleeping on the sidewalk or anything. Because of my drug habit, I was still worse than those guys. I was definitely worse off. I've been worse off than that because of my addiction. And you might wonder, like, well, what do you mean by that? It's just like mentally. I know I've met a lot of homeless people that do still experience joy and happiness, and I had none of that. I had absolutely none of it. I was good at faking it, but I didn't have any. That wasn't too long ago, guys. It was really, I mean, at my worst, when I was homeless and still in my addiction, was 6 years ago. But I've had my tattoo shop and businesses since 2021 now. So, it only took me about a year to get off my feet and to really figure that out. And after that first year, you start realizing, and I know the topic is addiction a disease or a choice? And I'm staying on that, but after that year, your brain chemistry starts to, it doesn't need that dopamine hijack you don't need that to feel better. You start realizing how much your real estate is worth, that your self-worth, you start realizing that you deserve like good things and good, a good girlfriend or a good wife. You start realizing that, no, I don't need to be with the chick who's still, full-blown addiction, or has just got off addiction, doesn't know what she's doing with her life. And I don't need a partner like that. I need someone who's got her shit together. Once you get like that first year under your belt, I think it's super important not to be in a relationship that first year. And almost everybody does it still, almost everybody. But I can tell you, the couples that I know that, it's not a perfect, union. Even my marriage isn't perfect, but I think what keeps it together, even through the worst of the worst times, is that we both still have our self-worth, and we know that the other person is in our not pay grade, but something like that. We're on the same level of what we want in life, and that we're not making poor decisions in our lives, and we can trust that each other is not going to do that for the most part. My wife might want to differ on that about me, but it's just because I'm crazy though. It's just because I'm crazy. So let's get into the chat and have a little bit of a discussion. I wasn't able, if you guys made any comments or questions, I wasn't able to put anything aside. I'm just vibing with what you guys. Sammy, we're so glad you are sober. Shell Dub says, comment, Sammy, we're so glad you are sober. We get to be a part of your channel community. Thank you so much, Shell Dub. I appreciate that. I'm glad I am too. It's so weird being sober. Because I'm actually a better person than I was even before my wife's accident, and I started using and drinking like full bore to that extent. I think I'm a better person than even when even before that happened. And so yeah, I really, really do appreciate that. And I'm so glad you're here as a part of the community. I really am. Grateful 1111 says, comment, we were all sharing and listening, Sammy. Awesome. I'm glad you guys were like having a good chat. I am going to go back now that I have this popped out. I'm going to save this chat so I can review it and like listen and like read what you guys have been talking about while I was talking about my jam. Susie Q3 says, I'm learning a lot listening to y'all. That's cool, Susie Q. This community is amazing. I know everyone says that about their community, but it really is amazing and very supportive of each other. And I'm so glad that I have this community. And if you knew the whole story, how this channel and this community came about, your mind would be blown, Susie Q3. It would be blown. Because I used to have a partner, like a co-host, and there was a lot with him. So if you're ever interested and you want to like really get the whole how this community came about and who the people are that exist in it today, watch some of the beginning shows, and then like where you can see in the thumbnails where it starts to unravel and what was left. And we are the leftovers, and we are glad to be the leftovers. We are definitely glad that we all found each other. So yeah, welcome to the community. It's an amazing. Hey, Auntie Monkey Pants, good morning to you. So good to see you. There's and just like Auntie Monkey Pants who came in, I remember when we first started the show and she was in the chat, and I read her YouTube handle for the first time and I just lost it. I was like, oh my God, where does that name come from? You know? And so there's just like, we all have our own little stories here. And it's just an amazing situation how this community came together. And and I've had my struggles since we've started this community, of just the direction of the channel, because I've also just retired from tattooing. So this channel is kind of like my the way I'm making a living and trying to survive. And so so there's been some hiccups and some bad decisions here and there of trying to make this a better channel, an attractive channel for to grow in numbers and views and all those things. So those things are important to me, but I will never do anything for views or clicks or for money that doesn't align with my, I guess, ideology of life and things like that. There might be some questionable things in there, because I might have gone on a rant and said some things out of pocket about, some other people that used to be a part of the, or whatever. There's been some things that don't please God, I guess is what I'm saying. And, I've had to atone for those things. Hey, Grateful, thanks for becoming a new member, became a new YouTube member. She has become a detective of disorder. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, we do have memberships. You can be a detective of disorder or a master of mayhem. There's 2 memberships, I think. There might be 3. I don't remember. But there's not like any special membership content. I've wanted to do stuff and I just don't know what to do. And so it's just a way to support the channel for now. But I do have some ideas of making things membership only, and then that becomes available to the public maybe after like 48 hours or something. So I think I am going to start doing that, but I just want everyone to have the same access to the channel as everyone else. So it's hard to decide. It's hard to decide. Oh, why? Thank you, Grateful. Grateful just upgraded her membership to a Mayhem Investigator. Thank you so much. I remember creating those memberships a long time ago, and I was trying to think of names for them. And now I think they're silly, but they're funny. It's so funny. Thank you so much, Sherry LeBrun, for being a member for 4 months. You got this free chat once a month. Great chat. Oh, you get this free chat once a month. That's funny. What is Gina saying here? Good morning, Gina. Welcome to the show. Gina says, it's hard for me to sit in silence with my thoughts and emotions. My mind runs to all the negative things I've done. So listening to you and others helps me. Yeah, that's amazing. I've been there. I've totally been there. It's my mind runs to all those negative things all the time too. And I think that's when we have to start like doing like just some quiet time where we practice like just quieting our mind, like really practicing it. And I know it's hard. Like I used to be really impatient with prayer. I'd be like, oh yeah, God is great, God is good, Robin Hood, whatever. And just pray really quickly for, my family and, others that are suffering. But I would do it so fast, it would just be a real impatient prayer because my mind is going all the time, and it still does go all the time. But after practicing of slowing it down, quieting my mind with prayer and meditation, and if you don't believe in God, just meditating on just like the universe is way greater than you are, and just like once you practice that more, you can still have those crazy manicky moments or even a lifestyle, but you're able to, when that gets exhausting, you're able to, by practice, just to like take some deep breaths and slow down for a second and think of when you have a hard time of just thinking of negative things, like, and I experienced that too, practicing gratitude, thinking of things that you're grateful for can help get you out of those negative racing thoughts, at least with me. So yeah, I really appreciate you participating in the chat. Thank you so much, Grateful, for the gifted memberships. Lori just gifted 5 After the Bars memberships, and super grateful. For those of you that have received one, be sure to thank her for that. Wyoming native, Kim Gaines, Misha, T Frog, Mimi. Thank you so much for gifting those memberships to those subscribers. I'm truly grateful. Thank you. I really like receiving the gifted memberships. I just really do. I think it helps people feel more a part of, the community and the channel that they're a member, even though there isn't yet any specific member only content. But I'm going to figure that out. Thanks again, Grateful. I am grateful for grateful. Grateful for grateful. Grateful for grateful. I am so grateful for grateful. What? I forgot I made those. I made a sound bite of my laugh. So funny. When you're recording stuff like that, it's so corny, man. You feel so corny when you're recording stuff like that. You're like, okay, I'm gonna make one of my laugh, you know, and then you're like, ha 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 ha. No, that doesn't sound good. It's hard for me to fake laugh. It really took me a few times, so I had to like think of something funny, and then it just ended up being I was able to laugh at the previous recordings of me trying to record my laugh, and then bam, it ended up sounding okay. Oh, that's crazy. So Nicole, see that that Nicole just made. You can see it in the chat of the different little icons. But I always wondered what that was when I seen this, what you see on the screen. But now that I have the studio chat open, I see exactly what it is, and that's pretty cool. It's like two pictures of me, one of a cartoon of Tommy, and 3 pictures of me, and then the Morning Mayhem thing. So, oh yeah, of me doing Popeye. Grateful says you need to make a Popeye one of me doing Popeye, or like a real Popeye one. Yeah, because I would love to do that. I need water to do it though right now, and I am out of water. How am I out of water? Damn it! And the girls are gone. The girls are having a play date with one of Hazley's friends. Okay, yeah, I will do that. Alivsk, fuck with me muscles, hakosk. I like him when he does that. He goes, hakosk, Alivsk. He ends like everything in a sk. Oh man. Sweet peas. All right, I'm gonna mellow out. Tuna casserole is the deep. Good morning, Ben Bacon Bits. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? Welcome to the Mayhem Show. Ben Bacon Bits is in the house. Good to see you, brother. I should make him come on with me right now. And a Jerry Lewis one. Yeah, love her when you're near me. I will do that. I'll do that today because those are funny. Those are funny. I must say. Yeah, what Nicola Wanga says, what are you talking about, Willis? I absolutely could do that. That's not one that's in my repertoire. But I mean I could make it in my repertoire. Absolutely. I wish I could move on from the Tommy emoji. Oh, yeah, you know what? I will change that. Shell W. Shell W says, I wish I could move on from the Tommy emoji. Yes. It's an emoji of him crying. So it's a cartoon emoji of him crying. But yeah, I will change that today. Yeah. Yeah, none of us wants to be. Was it an angry Tommy or a crying Tommy? I can't remember. It's a cartoon of him and RR like in a bathroom, her recording, and he's like yelling, I think. I can't remember. All right, guys, I'm going to do it right now because it's super easy to do. Because no, it's a thing. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, no, it's a thing. Now it's bothering me. Oh, I'm going to have to find a file though that fits those requirements. Nicole Luongo says, "Hey Sam, what'd you do with the watch?" Well, it's under. It was under my Be Kind sign. I don't know what to do with this watch. I did wear it one time, but the band is a little small for me. I'm a bigger guy. Yeah, I know you guys can't tell on the video, but I weigh 248 right now, 248 pounds. So I'm kind of a big guy. So my wrist is big. I know you can't tell on here, but so it is kind of small. Send it to the feds. Yeah. My other keeper says, comment, I have a gift for the girls too. Well, thank you. That's cool. Yep, I will do that. I will make sure I get you the address. I'm just reading what you guys are talking about. I do like having the chat detached from the StreamYard. It's pretty cool. We are live on X now, which is dope. I do like X. I like the free speech of X. I don't like all the murder videos and things that they do. Those are kind of annoying, but yeah, I do like being on X. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but remember, hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel to grow bigger and better and more diverse. Not that weird, creepy kind of government diverse. I'll Samsplain it for you if you want. You want to hear some Samsplaining? Just like the video down below.
After the bars, the story begins. A fight for the lost, a chance to win.
Yeah, the going on X I've gotten a few subscribers from X, and I think I'm putting together a pretty good audience over there. I'm just kind of new to it. I'm also going to be streaming on Rumble this week. I think I'm going to start that on Thursday. So I'll have some Rumble ads made and some things like that. So that's going to be cool. Yeah, there's another platform called Odyssey that a lot of people are talking about. If any of you guys know, do any of you guys know anything about Odyssey? I would be interested in knowing that. Sherry LeBron says one of them is me. What are you guys talking about? At 172K Justice for Ellen. Okay, I will check that out, Nicole. I really will. Hey, Tree Snorts, good to see you. Glad you're here this morning. You made it to the show. That's awesome. I mean, I do have a couple other topics we could talk about. I was going to save for maybe the afternoon, maybe. But now I can't find the tabs. There's a lot of Jeffrey Epstein things happening right now. I'm just tired of talking about it. No, it's nothing new is being said. It's all just the same stuff. Really over and over again. Do you know what I mean? It really is. But just saying it a different way. Oh no, not too late at all. Nope. I mean, I did already do the topic, which everyone's welcome to talk about. That's cool. Oh, thanks, Nicole, for putting the link onto X. There is a lot of Carmelo Anthony stuff on X. There's a lot of drama going on about it's pretty entertaining if you want to watch it, some lawsuits and things. I'm just talking about with creators suing each other over the Carmelo Anthony case. A lot of stolen scoops, you know, people saying, no, I reported it first. No, I reported it first. there's a lot of those things going on. Susie Q says, Sam, what time do you do lives? I usually am supposed to be doing them between like 9 and 10. I'll try to start a morning live, and then at nighttime they're either around 6 or 7. Sometimes I'll do an afternoon one, but I have to start doing 2 or 3 lives a day, or at least 1 or 2 lives a day, and then an uploaded video, just so I can generate some progress and growth. And so I'm going to be talking about, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things but on pre-recorded shows. So it's not the live. So our community is safe. And the community lives are with the community like we're doing now. But I am going to be uploading pre-recorded shows that do talk about politics and events and legal and things like that. I really have to start getting really aggressive with that. Because we just had like a little growth spurt because of doing those pre-recorded videos. So I want to just keep those up and don't lose momentum. I am going to reach out to a creator called YouTube Streets today. There's I have a new friend out there. I haven't got permission to share like his name or anything. And that's not really important, his name, but he's kind of a behind the scenes, like investigator, real smart guy. He's a software developer and, works on some pretty big projects. And I had a conversation with him last night for about an hour, and just a super nice guy, really smart. And I'm just glad that I got to meet him and was able to connect with him. Just a really smart guy. But anyways, he's connected to some other creators. Anyways, I'm trying to connect with YouTube Streets. I really think YouTube Streets is doing some good reporting on the Carmelo Anthony case right now. Even though there's some AI stuff there, or that's possible AI, sounds AI to me, things like that. But he doesn't present it as fact. And I really appreciate that. He leaves it up for you guys to decide. And at first I was questioning the responsibility of that, like even giving it any attention at all. But no, you have to give that stuff attention because it's out there. And if it's not AI, then it's serious, right? Not like serious, like someone's going to jail, but then it's newsworthy. It's worth reporting. So I am now finding myself appreciating that a lot more, rather than just not presenting it out, because then now people have all the information. They have, and they have the information like, look, if it is fake, this is so crazy that people are trying to put fake news out there to deflect. And now we get to investigate, okay, who's behind that? Is it Drew Anthony, Carmelo's dad? Is it people just trying to swing off Carmelo dad's, the team's nuts, like Dominique Alexander? Are they trying just to suck up to them and look what I did for you guys? We just don't know. So that's going to be a whole investigation within itself. So I'm hoping that I can get together with YouTube Streets and we can maybe do a collaboration on that. Absolutely. I think that would be super badass because we're kind of reporting on the same stuff. He's definitely ahead of me, ahead of me on like the investigating behind the scenes of stuff that's going on. And he deserves all the credit in the world for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. YouTube Streetsly deserve some credit. Why am I singing that? Oh, and then, hey, good morning, Jen Marie. Good to see you. And then there's a lot of Comey news coming up, but I'm going to save all the political stuff for the pre-recorded shows. We are safe here. We are a community of love with a watch for sale. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Why is it so bright in here right now? All right. No, John, you're not watching a replay, Johnny. Johnny boy, oh Johnny boy. Lover, when you're near me. I'm looking for something to watch while I go get some water. After the bars and the money's. Okay, I'm gonna find while I'm getting water. Oh yeah. You guys can watch this. Well, no, because I want to explain that. I don't want to. You guys watch it. Man, Candace Owens is going crazy, man. He's going crazy. Here, I'm gonna watch water, guys. Please don't go. Good morning, Incarnate Soul. How are you doing? Good to see you. No, I don't want to watch that. Um, my thing came up. That's good. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking for something. Oh, here we go. Here we go. No. I was gonna say you guys can watch some Jaguar Wright. She just came out of nothing, out of nowhere. Dun, dun, dun. Why is this so hard for me right now? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this is like really hard for me to find something entertaining for you guys to watch. Maybe I'll just put on some Kill Tony. Sorry guys about the dead air. I'm just trying to find. Okay, we're gonna watch some Tim Dillon while I.
Noise for Andrew Scardino.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go get some water.
So I started seeing this new girl, and we're fooling around in bed, and she says to me, "I want you to treat me like a slave." I'm like, "Whoa, okay." And she was Jewish, so I left the room, came back dressed as an Egyptian pharaoh, told her to get out. I was at the grocery store earlier, HEB. There was a woman in a wheelchair, missing one leg. Oddly enough, a guy other end of the store rolling towards her in a wheelchair, missing his other leg. And ever since I saw that, I've been wanting to play Tetris for some reason. I don't know really why. Had a real awkward moment recently. I was in the sauna looking around thinking, why am I the only one naked in here? That's when I realized it was a hot yoga class. Thank you, guys.
Okay, Andrew Scardino getting out
Boy,
in
that was
57
awful.
seconds. What was that last joke you were in?
Sorry, guys. Anyways, got something to drink. You guys ever had carrot juice? Oh, it's so good. So good, man. Mm, that is amazing. So I did start taking this supplement. It's called Full Restore or something like that. And yeah, there's a Bugs Bunny joke in there somewhere. Doesn't taste like aluminum dental work. You're crazy, dude. I don't know, man. This brand of care juice is delish. So I started taking this supplement. It's for your belly, right? So a guessily or I guessily. So I just said I guess or apparently in the same word. I guessily. So I guessily that there's like these little tears in your belly, and that like feces seeps out of these tears into your system. Did you guys know that? Like everybody has it. Everybody has it. Yeah, I guessily. Yeah. I know, a new word. Damn, I like the way it's spelled too. It looks good. I will make a shirt. I still have to pay to get my website back up and going. But don't worry, I'm getting there. I'm getting leaky gut syndrome. Is that what it's called? I didn't know it had a name. Leaky gut syndrome. Yeah. But I guess everybody has it to an extent. Like especially if like your like energy's low and you're not able to focus, like it really causes a lot of issues like gluten and things like that. Well, happy birthday to Thomas the cat. Dude, that's dope. I know I have a birthday thing somewhere. Oh man. I never put it on. That's crazy. Yeah, well, happy birthday to Thomas the cat. I know, I totally get it. Leaky gut, also known as increased intestinal permeability, refers to a condition where the lining of the small intestine becomes more porous than normal, allowing substances like bacteria and yeah, absolutely. When I commented on a court case, or so I thought, and it came on another guy's page. That was a new one. I'm typo queen. That's crazy, Therese. I know, and you just had that. I still don't know the situation, Therese Norris, that you had with Knife Hoarder and Goot. Like, I wish I knew that whole story, like of what happened, because it looks like it was serious at one point. Like something happened that was serious. So anyway, so I started taking this supplement for the leaky gut syndrome or whatever, and it's supposed to be a game changer. Now I get it. I know what you guys are going to say. Yeah, of course, everyone markets their pill as the game changer. But I've read a lot of reviews on it before I purchased them. I had something in my teeth. I read a ton of reviews, and it's like a serious thing. It's a serious thing. Of course, you got to change your diet too, and some things like that. And I do need to do that. But I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with me. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes, guys, that with me physically and like my health that I haven't shared or talked about. But like something's happening to my body, and I don't know what it is. It's starting to. I know I'm getting old, so everyone's gonna say, "Yeah, you're just getting old," but it's a little more than that, and it's happening pretty fast. Just a lot of muscles and like just a lot of soreness. I can't like sleep in certain positions or my body is trashed. My underneath my skin, it's a lot of lumpy. Like say if you were massaging someone's back, and you have the muscle, and then there might be a knot in there. Well, my back, it has like lumps everywhere, and it's not muscles, right? It's not like they're not knots, or maybe they are. I don't know, but something has changed, but just a lot of fatigue and things like that. My thumb is great, Nicole. It's all healed. When I do that, you can see where the hole is. Yeah, my thumb's great. Thanks for asking. I talked about it a little bit earlier. Okay, so Ben Bacon Bit says, yeah, mold, weed killer, and a bunch of other stuff that's making it impossible to lose weight. So Mariana thinks that we have black mold in the walls. So some people have moved out of this complex because of black mold. I just don't know. She's like has been freaking out on it, and every time there's something wrong with Hazley or Hershey or anything respiratory, like, oh, see, black mold. And so every time I complain about something, yeah, it's because of the black mold. I'm like, well, if she really did believe that there's black mold, then we got to get out of here. But I just haven't seen any. I feel like we could see it. But she thinks it's in the walls and it's coming through somehow. But all my symptoms do say it can be from black mold. But it says it can be from a lot of other things too. So I don't want to blame it on black mold yet. But yeah, see, Jim Marie says, weird. I have lumps all over my body that weird me out. Yeah, me too. I don't know what they came from because it used to be smooth, right? And now it's like lumpy, like there's like lumps. So I don't know. So I'm just trying to figure it out. So I'm taking little things. I'm trying to try these supplements, see if they work. Tree Snore says, oh, she's just answering. I don't even know myself. It was one of the most loyal, the bigger supporters, but they can't handle jokes and comments on old videos or me making a mistake thinking the Sam mentioned was you. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I still haven't. I don't even know what was said, but I'm glad it's done and over with and everyone's cool. But maybe you won't support them anymore because if the people are walking around on eggshells. Let's tell Sam he's been mute. Oh, Jesus Christ. You got me, John. You just got me. I thought I was mute. Dude. See, you achieved what you were trying to make happen. I really just freaked out. Yep, he got me. Yeah, I got a gut scare. A mold kit? Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll have to Google that and see where I can get one. Hopefully, yeah, I can test. But I mean, there's nothing to test unless it can like test the air or something. I don't know, but it's freaking me out for real. It is. It's got me like really freaked out. So I don't know. I don't want to go to the doctor for it because that costs money. So I'm just trying things on my own and like Googling stuff and trying to figure out. But when you Google stuff, you can really like, oh my God, I got this. And like Mariana's always doing that. Like always like, you know, I was like, oh no, she goes, I think I have, you know, ponderomyxiosis or something. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, you know, my nose was running and I had like a little pain right here in my head, and it's this disease. I'm like, no, you don't have, you know, ponderomyxiosis or whatever. What are you guys talking about? Whose heartbeat? Yeah. Am I muted again? You, whose heartbeat? I heard it too. Yeah, I don't know, guys. There are other great content creators, so no worries. Good, and I haven't followed. Good, haven't followed much, but Knife is hilarious. I feel kind of salty, but it's not the end of the world. I'd rather watch you or Jumpsuit Pablo. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I like Jumpsuit Pablo too, and I'm trying to do something with him. I just really just need to be aggressive and like really reach out and just like be like, hey dude, I want to talk to you. Hey dude, I want to talk to you. Hey dude, I want to talk to you. Because we do the same shows. We kind of think the same way. So I don't know. What was weird? Inside of my nose itch, and so I was looking for a remedy. I checked the remedy. It does test the air. I've done it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check it out then. Yeah, Jumpsuit Pablo is effing funny, man. I guess there was some controversy where he claimed he got kidnapped or something. I don't know. Something like that. Or he did get beat up by some prison buddies or something. There was a loud heartbeat noise. There was a heartbeat sound. Huh. Do you guys still hear it? Crazy. A heartbeat? You mean like that? That was payback for the making me look at my mute button. Hell yeah. Got him. Got him. Yeah, because but I didn't mean to get all of you guys. I just wanted to get John. But yeah. Yeah, it's like self-trolling. We're trolling ourselves. Where do you guys talk about? It used to be a joke. It was supposed to be a joke. No, it's supposed to be a joke. What does BBB stand for? That's like been confusing me. BBB 100%. I don't know what BB is. I've been seeing that a lot lately. Oh, Ben Bacon Bits. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It just came to me. And then Ben Bacon Bits said Ben Bacon Bits. I was seeing that the other day and I was like, who the hell is BBB or what the hell is? I thought it was like Big Booty something, Big Booty Ben, or who knows? Who knows what I thought it was? I just thought it was something other than like a person, or it was like a best friend, like BF, something like that. I didn't know. I'm old, so I always think that letters mean something that they're not. But yeah, Ben Bacon Bits. Yeah, that's a lot easier than spelling out Ben Bacon Bits. Oh, okay. When Jumpsuit Paulo is supposed to be kidnapped by the gangs. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. It was supposed to be a joke, but it bombed atrociously. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a couple things on it and then I tried to figure it out, but then I got sidetracked from something else. So I don't know. It was nuts. It was super nuts. Have you guys caught up with what's his name? Tommy, not Tommy Scoville. I can't think of his name right now. Social Club, Tommy's Social Club. Have you guys caught up with him lately? Yeah, Stiggs. I wonder how he's doing. Two-tone. Even JD Delay was worried until he fessed up. Yeah, JD Delay was worried about him. I've sent an email to JD Delay too before. I was asking about cameras, and he never responded. But I mean, he's a pretty big creator now. Yeah, he really kind of, he was one of the ones that paved the path for like ex-cons to do content. Yeah, he's on way too early. Tommy Stiggs. I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning to watch him if I'm gonna catch the Stiggs show. Because I have to get up, and it takes me about half an hour before I can even turn on any devices or anything. So, yeah, he can be a lot though too sometimes, but he's good shit for sure. Yeah, we connected. We were supposed to do something, but he backed out, or I don't know what's going on. He's real picky about who he has on. I don't know. I don't want to get into how I feel about it. I'm not trying to put shade on him or talk shit about him, not even a little bit. But yeah, something happened. Really, you've had insomnia, Jen? That sucks. When I have insomnia, it's the worst. Like, I have it bad too when I get it. And I get it a lot, maybe once a month, twice a month, where I'm a mess for about a week. I'm getting like 2 hours sleep a night, and I'm just trying to do show stuff. And that's when you guys notice where I can't talk. I'm like, I can't articulate things. That's usually my insomnia bouts. So I want to watch something with you. Oh yeah, I got this, guys. Let's watch this. So this is a prison video. So this guy, is this it right here? No, that's not it. Is this it? Oh yeah, no, this should be it. My computer is like being slow right now for some reason. There it goes. Hold on, guys. It's coming. I don't know why it's being so slow. Oh, I got to re-add it. Damn it. 1 second, guys. This is so dumb. I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's being dumb. I really need to get a new computer. Okay, I'm going to tell you what we're watching. So this is a video of a jailhouse, obviously. And a guy comes out, and he's got his bedroll, and basically he wants to get out of there. So we're going to watch this, and I'm going to do a little, there's no sound. They don't have sound on these, but I just want you guys to watch for a second. So it's just like 60 days in right now. But okay, so you see in the picture the white guy, he has his mattress and all his stuff, and he's like, I'm guessing he's saying, hey, I got to get the hell out of here. He dropped his stuff. I know it's small, guys. He drops his stuff. Now he's arguing with the cop. He's like, no, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. There's a bunch of black guys kind of like surrounding him, watching him. Oh, now he's in handcuffs. They're like putting him in handcuffs. And another officer walks in. Now he's got him like hemmed up. Oh, he won't give him his hands to be handcuffed. Oh, and the other officer has a taser on him. Oh, Now he's going to the ground. Oh, the cop drops the taser. Oh, did you guys see that? The inmate tased the cop. The inmate tased the cop. Let's watch it. Oh, yeah, he's not trying to let go, or he's trying to not be handcuffed. He's just trying to get out of there and see everybody watching. Everybody who's watching is black. So I'm guessing all the black kids, they're probably younger dudes. They probably told the old man to get the hell out of there. I'm guessing, yeah, they told the old man to get out of there, but he got the taser and tased the other cop. That cop's going to be in a lot of trouble that set that taser down. Yeah, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So now they call the goon squad. Everybody comes running just for this one old man. So I'm going to let it play. He probably just wanted to get out of there. It's probably loud. All those brothers are probably talking about sports, yelling and screaming. The old white guy, he's just some old man. He's probably just get me the hell out of here. Or he could owe money and they probably told him to get out of there. Or he took someone's bottom bunk. There's tons of reasons why that dude would have his thing and tell the cop hey, I want to get out of here. Or he could be hey, no, these dudes are threatening to beat me up. I don't know, but he kind of looks gangster. I mean, he just fought with these cops. He might be a Hell's Angel or something. He looks like a biker dude. The dum-dum was the guy who dropped the taser in arm reach the convict. The other guy whose house I was talking about is Doug Stanhope. Yeah, dude, that dude's an idiot. But I don't really care what 3 cloves do anymore. It was funny when I got recap from Knife Hoarder, but now I watch you, Jumpsuit Pablo, Court Cases, Lockdown 23 and 1. Yeah, I like Lockdown 23 and 1 too. He didn't really start doing court I have a legal channel where I do only court cases. I haven't done any in 2 weeks, but he when he started doing the court cases, I think his audience really grew. It started growing a lot when he started doing court cases. He does them cool. He calls it the Smoke Show or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, we're all just a bunch of convicts on YouTube, laughing at ourselves and how trippy life is. Life's a trip, But yeah, that dude's an idiot who dropped the taser. Can't believe it. We don't need to rewatch it. And then I have another one. So this dude is on the phone, a video visit. So a lot of jails, there's a lot of jails. I'm trying to find a different way to. So there's a lot of jails that have video visits. So the person from home can just be on their phone and the person in the jail can do a visit right from the unit where he, sleeps and, they bring the food and stuff. So they're on a video visit and just watch what happens. They jump him while he's on his video visit. And look, the whole unit comes and jumps this guy. It's crazy. And his wife is on the other line. There's video of his wife too. I just couldn't fit it all in. But yeah, when a whole unit jumps you, you've done something bad. You either are a sex offender, you did something bad to a kid. or you something bad happened, or you're just walking around like you're the boss, you're running shit. But yeah, the dude got jumped while he was on a phone call. Tree Snore says, why can't you believe I said Hell's Angels? You just never know. I mean, the guy, I mean, he was fighting cops, so you just don't know. I'm actually friends with the West Coast president of the Hell's Angels, really good friends. I've done a lot of tattoos. I've done their patch on a couple of Hell's Angels. So I say it out of respect, you know, for him. My buddy, who's the West Coast president of the Hell's Angels, because I call bikers booger eaters. That's like my nickname for him. I'm like, come on, booger eater, let's go. They don't always like it. Sometimes, you know, I've been in some arguments with a couple different bikers. They were banditos about calling them booger eaters, but it's definitely all in good fun. And yeah, but most of my friends that are Hell's Angels, they just laugh at it because they know me. You know, they know me. They respect me. I respect them. So yeah. Darcy says, she says, I knew many biker gangs. Yeah, me too. And the reason why I have, oh, okay, Tree Snorris. Awesome. That's badass. She has sons with one. No, that's super cool. Yeah, I in my drug days, I did a lot of business with some one percenters, specifically some popular ones. I'm just going to say that. And, you know, I held my mud. I didn't tell on anyone. I didn't try to bring anyone down. I did my time, and, you know, now I get a lot of respect out there. So I'm able to say booger eater, but it's definitely in good fun. And they know I'm crazy. You know, a lot of my friends that are like bikers, like real deal bikers, they know I'm crazy. So they just, I think I'm just good entertainment for everybody. Yep. Prison does suck. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Yes, it does. But yeah, that's cool. Darcy's and Tree Snores. Yeah, that's super cool. You know what's crazy? I've drinking this many times. I have never had a metallic taste in my mouth from the carrot juice, but now I do. No, I get it. Tree Snores, that's his life. And not yours, but yeah, that's cool. Yep. You know, I don't agree with that lifestyle anymore or anything like that. And I never did. I've been asked to be a prospect in 2 different clubs when I was younger, and it's not my lifestyle. I'm just a computer geek, you know what I mean? And now I'm just a computer geek here on YouTube. I could just never I could never get into it. I would have felt like a fraud, like I was playing a role. And I know an HA guy who I know is like playing a role. I know in his heart he's not about that life. You know what I mean? And another thing is too is that when you're in those clubs, if it has nothing to do with the club, you don't really participate in it. They have a lot of heart. They don't have it easy in the feds. And I've talked about this before. The 1% clubs, they don't have it easy in the feds. They don't. And what I mean is from the inmates, a lot of yards. If you're a 1% biker, you're not even allowed to come out to the yard. You have to stay in the units and go to chow, but you can't come out to the yard. And this is the reason why. It's not because they're like, you know, aren't tough guys or like, but because if it's not club business, then they don't get involved. And when you're in prison, you have to you have to show solidarity with your race. And it doesn't matter if you're in a bike club or not. If you're white, like say with the white boys, then you have to, if something happens on the yard and there's like a riot situation, the white boys have to count on all of the whites sticking together and fighting in this riot. But if you're a white, like let's just say Hell's Angel, and something happens on the yard, if it's not club business, you don't get involved, then you're just going to be in the way. So what the rule is that you can't even come out to yard. So it's crazy. I told that before on a podcast, and there was a HA guy in the chat, and he was like, he said, yeah, he's like, it sucks. He's like, because they want to show solidarity, but they can't, or else they lose their cut, their patch. And so, if they get involved with, other people's business. And for real, I would rather be able to say, yeah, screw that. I'll just not go out there, because usually those riots, and when things go down, it's usually over two other guys being disrespectful to each other, or over drugs. These guys are having riots over drugs, or over something like racial, like a word was said and that caused a riot. So yeah, it's a trip, man. When people say like, no way, man, the Hells Angels aren't allowed to go work out or walk the track or play softball. I'm like, yep. They're not allowed to come out and play with the boys. It's crazy. Yeah, Tree Snores. I know exactly what you're saying. She says, in my country, there are 3 big 1% clubs, and I can name the 3 probably. And the HA tend to keep more to themselves. Yep. They do. They've been burnt so many times, though. They've had the feds infiltrate them. I know you're in a different country, but they've had the feds infiltrate their club. They've had people rat on them that are from outside the club, that have sent, club members to prison. There's all kinds of things going on. Well, anyways, guys, I feel like I'm just rambling now, so I'm gonna end the show. Thank you so much. Please hit that like and subscribe. If you've been here more than twice, please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It's a handshake we've had from a long time. I guess what's his name? Jesse on Fire does the same thing. We have a handshake deal. If you've watched more than a couple of shows, please hit subscribe. And I appreciate it. And yeah, and it really helps the algorithm. It really does. And if you have your notifications turned on and you see one of my other videos pop up that's pre-recorded, please just click on it and hit like. If you can, that helps the algorithm. That's a good way to support the channel. Even if you don't have time to watch it, that's cool. Just let it play in the background, or at least just click on it. I know I'm kind of sad sacking for you guys to engage with the videos, but it just really helps the algorithm, and it's an awesome way to support the channel. It doesn't cost anything, and it really helps the channel. Nana of 2, you have a great day too. I'm glad you were here this morning. But yeah, that's it. I don't know what we're going to talk about tomorrow. The girls are gone today, so maybe look out for another show this afternoon. I would really love to see everyone there. Whatever we do this afternoon, I'm sure to be fun. Maybe I can work out the kinks of the call-in show. The last 2 times have been a mess, but if I can work out those kinks, maybe we'll have a call-in show. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Keep your notifications on. I am Sam, and this has been After the Bars. Have an awesome morning, and be kind.
Stay loud. Don't be woke. Stay wild. Stay awake. This was more